What's up everyone? Today is the first episode of Can It Design. Now you might remember that a couple weeks ago I put out a call for design challenges. And the idea here is that we can see how different design programs work, if programs are capable of doing real design work. Because we've been talking about how do you need Adobe to be professional, or can you do professional work in something else? So that's the point. We're going to be doing these challenges, seeing if these other programs can design. And some of these challenges are going to be pretty off the wall. Some of them will be things that you expect, programs like Affinity Designer and Affinity Photo, professional level programs, and some will be things that we might not always think of as professional level programs. And so I've asked you guys to submit challenges in the comments to that video, and you can submit challenges on the comments of any of these videos, and then I will try those things out. So today's challenge comes from Laura Eskins, and she said, can you create a typographical coaster? And the challenge is to do that using only your phone. She also had a challenge to try doing it using only pencil and paper, and that's too hard for me because I have not really developed my skills as a hand artist. And so we won't be doing it with pencil and paper, but we will be trying to do it using just our phone today. She specified what the challenge was and not what application that she wanted to be used. So today I have selected to use an app that I've been wanting to try out for a while, but I never have. So I've downloaded the app Vectornator, and we are going to try to create a typographical coaster on that. And the premise of this challenge is, can we do what we need to do inside of this program to create a finished product? In this case, we need to get a file out of it that we could use on a site like Shutterfly or some other printing and cutting site, or that we could use on something like a laser cutter or a Cricut machine so that we could create a typographical coaster. So we need to be able to get the file that could then be turned into the physical product in the case of this challenge. So let's go ahead. This is Vectornator on the iPhone. I haven't used it before. We're opening it up. We're looking at it for the first time. So, got desktop, iPhone, iPad, Mac, and I've heard great things about this program. It's free, which, you never know with free programs, but we'll see. Some free programs are really good. And we can choose our scale. For smaller devices, they recommend zoomed interface. Okay, well, we are on iPhone, so I think we're going to try a zoomed interface. And of course, we're going to go with dark mode. Primary reason for Vectornator, in this case, looking for lettering. So we'll go with that. Looks like you can only select one. So continue. And we're going to skip sign up. We're going to skip notifications. And I don't remember how I heard about Vectornator. Probably on a video somewhere, so we'll just say social media. Okay. So we were just going to see, can we do a professional design here in Vectornator? So let's go ahead. I think we'll need to hit the plus button to create a new one, and we're going to go with a custom size here. We're just going to go with 1000 by 1000, and we're going to do that in pixels. Create. Wants to use Bluetooth, but we can't use the Apple Pencil with this, so I'm just going to say don't allow. Don't need it to access photos. Okay, so we're looking here, we're trying to do this design. The first thing that we're going to need to do is create, I think we're going to do a circle coaster. So I've already sketched out some ideas for this design beforehand. You should always sketch before you design, like I just talked about in my last video. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to try and find a circle here. See how we can do this on the phone. Let's see. Looks like that is a square shape. Double tapping on it brings up the shapes, and we'll grab a circle. Come out here, holding down a second finger allows us to do it in a perfect circle, which is great, just kind of what we would expect here. Oh, we don't want a second one, so we'll delete that. Switch back to our, looks like our selection tool here. And I'm just trying to move the interface around a little bit so that we can actually see. That's one of the big challenges here that we've been given by using the phone, is we can't really see too well here. I wonder if we can flip it. Okay, great. We can flip it this way. And then I think we'll be a little bit better off here. We do this in horizontal mode. So we're making the circle, and perfect circle. Doesn't look like there's snapping here, but maybe that's something that has to be turned on. And let's see. Looks like this paintbrush will allow us to adjust things here, so we don't really need to fill. Whatever the wood or stone that would be on the coaster would be here, so we really don't need to fill. So let's see if there's a way to turn the fill off. Opacity, 0. Stroke can be black. Raise up our stroke width just a little bit. Let's try 4. Oh, you can swipe on this to raise the stroke. Okay, cool. Doesn't really look like it made the stroke larger. So a lot of this is learning, right? So it doesn't necessarily mean that it's not a professional level app. It just means that maybe I don't know how to use it quite right. It doesn't seem to be taking effect. Especially free programs are sometimes buggy. So I can try and put this in the center. It'd be nice if we had some kind of an alignment option. Alright, right there. Center. And middle. Perfect. Okay, so that's easy. That was easy to find. That's great. Still can't figure out why the stroke won't raise. Not sure about that. So we'll just keep looking here. It's a little tricky to do this on the phone. Of course, that's what makes it a challenge. Oh, so the eyeball will hide it. So we can hide the fill. Gotcha. Okay. And set to black. Let's just try changing the color, see if we can get it to take effect here. No. Does not want to take effect. So there's currently no stroke on it, even though we've tried to set a stroke a couple of times. That could definitely be a deal breaker. In the case of this, I think you do kind of need to have stroke control if you're going to have a professional app. Let's try switching this back here. Could be, maybe I just don't know how to get something to take effect. It might just be a secret that I don't know. Looks like we are supposed to be able to set dashes. We can't see that. Go to our layers, see what we've got. We've got our oval thing, but that's on. So I'm not sure there what's going on, but let's try and add some typography here. So it looks like we've got a type tool. Hey guys, this is Editor Ben here, coming to you from the future. I actually had some trouble with the next part of the video where we didn't get all of the audio and we didn't get all of the screencast. Something about the way the iPhone was recording at that time caused there to be a corruption. So we don't have all of that. So what I have for you now is just a sped up time lapse of what I did, which will probably be more interesting anyways. But I did want to let you know that I did figure out the stroke issue. What had happened was, in trying to get rid of the fill, I had lowered the opacity of the entire object. So the stroke wouldn't show up even though the stroke was turned on because the object's opacity was off. So I raised that back up and was able to bring the stroke back. So the key is to turn off the eyeball on the fill, and then the fill will disappear. That will make it transparent, but don't lower the opacity on the object. And so now I will show you the time lapse of me doing the typography stuff, and once I'm kind of through that, I'll come back on in the normal video and kind of walk through the export options and things like that. we're going to continue here and see. You can, this is what we've put together so far. We're going to see if we can finish this design out and get it out in a form that we can actually use. So the next thing that we're going to do, I'll go ahead and flip this back here. And the next step is to try and get this all out. So we're going to select all the text and make it a group all together as a group there. That will allow us to arrange it. So let's go ahead and we will center and middle that. Then we're going to take our stroke from the outside. The stroke represents the circle. That's the thing we would cut if we were doing this on like a Cricut. And then we're going to duplicate. I think this button might be duplicate. Oh, yeah, okay, that's cool. But that's not really what I wanted to do. I need to select the circle. Okay, and then I can duplicate. No. Okay, it's just a little tricky to figure out. Okay, then I can duplicate the circle. Perfect. Now I turn off that duplicating, and we recenter this, and then we'll scale it down. Reposition it again. Now we're getting some snapping, which we weren't getting earlier. Not sure why. Let's just do our center again. And we're going to give this guy a little dash around. So let's go ahead here and we'll create the dash on the stroke. And we can adjust the dash and the gap there. And it looks like we can also adjust our roundness. Okay, so that's the gap right there. Okay, perfect. So let's do a 10 on each. 10 on the dash, 10 on the gap. That'll give us a little bit more there. Try scaling that down. So it's a little bit closer to the text. Okay. Let's try 25. Okay, not bad. Not bad. So I think this is a good representation of what this program can do. Now we need to try and get it out and see if we can use it. Now, if we were to take this to some place like Shutterfly to create our coaster, we'd probably need it as like a JPEG or a PNG. PNG if we wanted the transparency. If we were going to do this ourselves on a laser cutter or a Cricut, then we probably need this as an SVG, right? So let's go ahead and let's see how we export, which I'm looking for. There's obviously lots of tools that we haven't used in this because we're just trying this one specific design challenge here. Plus gives us the templates. No, it's not what we want. Okay. There we go. This is what we're looking for, is a share here. Okay, so this is cool. So we can share to our files. We can send it directly to Illustrator if we're using Illustrator or Creative Cloud, and then we have these export options: JPEG, PNG, SVG, PDF AI, VN must be Vectornator's native file. So if you're switching between devices with it, print it, submit artwork. That's probably they probably have a network. AR, interesting. Okay, great. So let's actually go ahead and we'll just try this one as a PNG here. And it crashed again. Cool. Let's jump back in. And we'll try it again. PNG. We can name it. We'll keep our transparency. 1000 by 1000. Probably going to etch this. So I don't know that it matters if it's CMYK or not. But it's good to know that this has CMYK. Looks like we have a bunch of options for where to save it. So we can save it to the files. Looks like to do camera roll, we would have had to choose the other option. We'll just do save to files. Save it on my iPhone. Into this Vectornator folder. And save. On my iPhone, Vectornator, and there it is. So we've got it out in a form that we could use someplace. There are many different forms that it could take. So now we answer the question, can it design? Can Vectornator on an iPhone do a professional design? Something that you could take and turn into a real product somewhere. And the answer to that question today is yes. Vectornator on the iPhone can design. Is it great? Is it the fastest? No. But can it do it? Yes. And it's free and it's on your phone. You could take this with you anywhere. You could be designing. You could do professional designs on this. And it can even export to Adobe Illustrator. So, the most common thing we hear is, well, how are you going to collaborate with people? Well, it looks like you could collaborate with people with this one. So Vectornator can design. Looks like it's probably the best, most robust design app that's actually on iPhone. You guys know, if you've seen my other videos, I'm a big fan of Assembly. Assembly is super easy to use. It's very user-friendly, but it's not completely free. There are some versions of it that require subscription, which, we aren't fans of. And so Vectornator really seems like it knows what it's doing here. It's got a great product. How they're going to make money, I don't know. So the longevity of this app could possibly be in question, but for right now, you could do some professional vector design work here on your phone using the Vectornator app. Thanks so much for tuning in to this episode of Can It Design? If you have other design challenges or programs that you'd like to see me use in design challenges, please leave those in the comments below. I would love to see them and use them in an upcoming video. We'll chat in the comments, and I will see you in the next video.